Hello friends, this is Grace here, getting ready to make some ornaments, photo ornaments for our Time Capsule Throwdown event, which is happening today. It's been happening for quite a while, actually. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 9 of us. So 9 hours of photo memory fun. It's a time, well, I shouldn't say photo memory. The project I'm doing is with photos, but not everybody would choose to do photos for memory keeping. Time Capsule Throwdown, it is being hosted by Miss Christie at My Artful Adventures, and you can find this streaming into both her group, her free group, My Artful Adventures Clubhouse, and in the Crafty Bunch. So let me make sure this feed is running, and once I'm able to do that, I'm going to get started with the project of the day. And I'm probably going to need your help, if you don't mind. I'm going to need some help because I have some decisions to make about this project. Now, I was thinking I'd leave my laptop over there, but I think I'm going to be better off putting it right here so I can see the comments and see what you're seeing all at the same time. So just bear with me while I do that. So I've got these ornaments from Hobby Lobby. They're white distressed on one side. They have the hanger included. They're just chipboard, you know, that MDF board, I guess. It has the hanger on the back side. We're going to decorate these front sides, and I am thinking Christmas gifts for, I have 2 sons, and they both have girlfriends. So I'm thinking Christmas gifts for the girls. So that's what's on my mind. I don't know how far I'm going to get here. Well, I know I'll finish them. I just don't, I have some decisions to make, and I thought maybe you could help me. Hey, Jenny, thanks for being here. So Jenny is here, and Debbie, and there's Christy. Thanks for sharing me over to the groups. If you want to follow along today, like I said, I'll mention it a couple of times so you don't lose track. It's kind of a page hop, but not really, because you could hop from page to page for all the creators, but the easier way to do it is to go into one of those free groups and just keep refreshing your screen, and every hour a new person comes on. So again, the groups are My Artful Adventures Clubhouse and the Crafty Bunch. So those are the 2 groups. Hey, Judy. It's nice to see you too. All right, let me put my notes aside. I don't want to lose track of anything. I got to keep track of what we're doing, where we're doing it, who's doing it, and then actually the project. So lots of things to keep track of. Hey, Sue, how are you? Okay, so here's what I got. I have a lot of pictures of my children with their girlfriends. And I asked Maddie this morning, Maddie, if you're listening in, girl, maybe you shouldn't watch because I'm going to make a gift for you. I don't think she's on Facebook, actually. Her mom is, but I'm not sure that she is. So I asked her for some, I said, can you send me some of your favorite photos of you and Landon? They've been dating for 2 years. So she sent me a few photos, and I have this photo of Gannon with his girlfriend just a couple of weekends ago at the homecoming dance. Here's Landon and Maddie at prom. So what I did was I printed them on tracer paper. I removed the backgrounds and then printed them on tracer paper. Let me show you why. When I printed this first one just as a test on tracer paper, it came out beautifully, except it had the background. So I'm going to show you. Okay, there's Maddie and Landon. They had gone to California. I think this is in California for a conference for school, a competition. But do you see in the background, it's pretty green and blue, the green trees and the blue sky. The ornaments are round. If I kept these square backgrounds, it would look really funny with this square image on a round ornament. So what I did was I took the images and I loaded them into Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com. You can get a free account. I have a paid account because I use it that much, but you don't have to pay for it. You can use it for free. And Canva has a background remover, which will take all of the sky and the trees out and just give you the 2 people in the front. So that's what all of these images are. All of these, I removed the background. So I just have the images of the kids. Now, my challenge is getting these onto the ornaments. That's my big challenge. So if you've done this before, tell us in the comments, how did you do it? How did you do it? I'd love to know what your technique was for how you did it. I'm going to walk you through or talk you through my thought process for this. So I think that this background with this distress would be quite pretty. And actually, I'm going to get you down on the table more so you can see a little bit more of what I got going on here. Let me put these aside. These are just some more notes and some stamps that I might use. Okay, so these, the way that I printed these on the tracer paper was I taped the tracer paper to a regular piece of paper. So let me release those because it'll make it easier for us. And I kept it on so you could see what it looks like. Now, it's only curled up because I sprayed these with a Mod Podge top coat. So I'm going to release these. I have one little piece of tape on the top, one little piece of tape on the bottom, and I'm going to release both of them with this, just this sharp knife so that I can show you these images more. So what I wanted to do, I have an inkjet printer. If you have an inkjet printer, your inks are going to bleed. If you print out photos and then you brush on Mod Podge to glue them down onto here, the inks on the photos are going to bleed once I brush anything wet over these. So I know a lot of people use hairspray. I have hairspray, but I thought spray Mod Podge would work too because it's a spray top coat. So I took these to the garage and I sprayed the heck out of them. I soaked these sheets, and that's why they curled up. They curled up because I absolutely soaked them with 3 coats of spray matte Mod Podge. So it is tracer paper. It's completely translucent. And then it has Mod Podge on top. And I did use matte, but it looks a little shiny, doesn't it? I think that's the paper mixing with the Mod Podge. So all you have to do is tape it to a regular piece of paper, a carrier sheet, and then run it through your printer. As long as the tape is really smooth on the top and the bottom, you should be totally fine. So that's where I'm at. I ran them through Canva, removed the backgrounds, taped tracer paper to the printer paper, ran it through my inkjet printer, but because I have an inkjet, not a laser, I sprayed them with top coats. Some people use hairspray as a fixative. And now when I want to glue these onto here, they're going to glue on beautifully. And I don't have that background to deal with. Now I have more pictures than I have ornaments, but that's okay because I wanted to have options. As I'm walking and talking you through this, if you have any questions, let me know, because there were a bunch of steps. None of them were difficult. It was just do it in the right order so that you have the best success possible. And that's what I'd want for you. So Christy is saying, I always have to use more tape across the top to get it to go through my printer. So, and this is like a practice thing. Everybody's printer is different. The paper you're using is different. In fact, this tracing paper is different than other tracing paper that I have. And I feel like it almost has a waxy film on it, which my other one doesn't. So even my own supplies, running one through the printer is going to be different than the other. So it is just a bit of trial and error. Try it. You can always get a paper jam out of your printer. So I would just say, be bold, be brave, go for it, try it. And I can kind of explain to you my process, but then realize you may have some trial and error. Like Christy saying, I need to use more tape. I didn't need to use a lot of tape, but depending on your printer, depending on your paper, you might need to do that. Hey, Callie, how are you? Debbie's here. Hey, Joy. Hello again, friend. She says, my internet is acting up again. It's going to be freezing up. So I'll try to watch the replay. Oh, darling. Oh, that stinks, but it's okay. That's why replays are always a good thing. Christy says, this is a great idea. Plus, if it's for a holiday ornament, you don't have a non-holiday background. Exactly. Well, I was thinking these are holiday ornaments. They came from, they're called Christmas crafts. I got them years ago, actually. I think at Hobby Lobby. They were just a few dollars. I grabbed them thinking, oh, you can always use a few wooden ornaments to make gifts or to make. Every year I've made, now last year I skipped it. My son turned 18. I didn't do it this past year, and I was debating, do I keep doing it or don't I? But every year since my kids were babies, I've made or bought ornaments from them that have big backs. And my husband and I wrote one for Landon and one for Gannon, a little note to them in December at Christmas. And we've just been stowing them away. I mean, they were babies, they were infants, they were newborns when we started doing this. And now they're 18 and 17. So they each have that times two. They have 18 years times two, that many ornaments, because they got one from mom and one from dad. And I was thinking it was like a keepsake for them. So the challenge is finding the ornaments that have these big backs on them. And then sometimes I was like, one year I painted ornaments for them. But if we went on a trip, like say we went to Florida, I might buy a Florida ornament that had a big enough back so that it was a keepsake of the trip and our written notes on the back. I think it's a lovely idea. Obviously, I've kept it up this whole time, but that's why I bought these with those ornaments in mind. But for the girls, I'm going to give them to them as Christmas gifts, but they could hang these year round if like Christy said, if we keep the holiday theme out of it, if we just make them generic, like all season, as you say. So Maddie just got her first apartment. She can hang in an apartment. Chastity can hang hers in her room. So here's my challenge. So the next thing was, how am I going to Mod Podge these smoothly on this wood? So I tested this one on, this is just a piece of scrap wood that I use. Sometimes when I'm painting things, I'll put these underneath the wood piece that I'm painting just so I don't get paint on my table. So these are just scrap. I painted this side white. I Mod Podged it, let it dry, and then I put this tissue paper. So it is actually called tracer paper. It's Crayola tracer paper. I put it down on here and I wanted to test it with my iron. Can I iron this on? And it worked beautifully. Look at how and I left the paper all the way around it and you cannot even hardly see the paper. I left the paper. I'm not even sure that you're going to be able to see it. There is about a ½ inch piece of this paper I left around the edge on 3 sides because I wanted to see, is it going to be really smooth and seamless? Always test. If you have 4 ornaments and you want to give away 4 gifts, please go find a piece of scrap wood, test your theory, test your technique, test your supplies before you go in on your real deal, because there's nothing worse than being disappointed, right? But I tested it. It looks beautiful. It's nice and smooth. It actually has a sheen because I used Mod Podge. I don't know. I think that this paper, for some reason, has more sheen to it than the other paper that I've been using. But I know it's going to work now. So now we just have to decide this. Got the ornaments. I got the photos. Which photos am I going to use? I only have one of Gannon and Chastity. So I'm going to cut that one out because I know I'm using this one. There's my scissors. Let me check comments. Hey, so inspired designs. Hey, Missy, Carrie, there you are, friend. Look at all you girls just coming on in, hanging out. Is it supper time for you guys? It's supper time for us. It's 5 o'clock here where I live in North Dakota. We're on Central Time. Callie says, hey, I just want to thank you again for acknowledging my birthday, and I received my card also. You're so welcome, my friend. You're so welcome, Callie. Birthdays are special. They are so special, aren't they? It's like the day to celebrate your birth, the day that you were brought into this world. It's special for your parents. It's special for your family. It's special for your friends. And Callie's a member of our the private membership group that I have, and I send cards out and do shout outs in the group. So of course, I love to celebrate our girls. My screen is wonky. I wonder why. What do you see that's wonky, Linda? Okay, here's Gannon and Chastity. Now, we don't need this much paper around them. I do not want to fussy cut them out because like all of that space between their legs and between their head, oh my word, can you imagine fussy cutting it out? This is why it's great if you can get your printer to print on a really thin paper, like a tracing paper, which is what I did. It's super helpful. So they are going to fit. I was able to finagle it in Canva so that they're going to fit exactly on here. But I'm just going to cut around like a little tighter, probably like I did on that other photo, like a 1/4 inch around them. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm going to do a quick cut. The 1/4 inch is going to help me hold the paper while I'm trying to work with it. You don't want to cut. I mean, if you're going to apply a glue, you might want to be able to hold on to it. So it kind of looks like a sticker, right? They're so cute. Now what I have to decide, I think I brought this out thinking maybe as a background. because the paper's translucent and they're in black and white. So I was kind of thinking that as a background, but now that I have the ornaments out and I'm so visual. Now that I'm seeing it on there, I think I like it just the way it is. And what I was thinking I would do is put the date on here so that like they'll know it was 2024 when this photo was taken. This is their actual homecoming. I could even write on the back the event, like when the photo was taken, because I know the same exact the date that happened. So this one's ready to go, I think. Now Maddie and Lyndon, a little bit harder. I have so many photos of them. Okay, let's start with this one. I have to decide. And I think for Maddie, I think I'm going to make her a couple of these since she has her own place now. I have a feeling she's going to get a Christmas tree this year. So I was thinking I'm going to gift these to her. She will be able to use it on her Christmas tree. And then because they're not going to say Merry Christmas, she can, after the Christmas tree is taken down, she can hang them on a kitchen cupboard or wherever she wants to hang these little ornaments. Okay, so here's the challenge with this one. I love this photo of them, but her arm on the left, it's cut off. It's cut off, so I can't very well put her right in the middle with that cut off arm. That would just look so funky, right? So she needs to go all the way to one side, and then Landon's arm, it will run right off the ornament and it'll be fine. So if I get her all the way to one side, I could even go down low and then, well, it's kind of crooked now, but if I went down low, I would have all this space for the date and maybe a phrase. I grabbed a bunch of clear stamps that have phrases on them that I could stamp on there. And there are some really sweet ones. Simple moments make great memories. You never know when you're making a memory. That one's really good too. The moment may be memory, but the moment may be temporary, but the memory is forever. I love that one. I have a lot of really good ones. So I'm going to cut a few of these out because I have to decide. Again, maybe you can help me decide which photos to use. I think this is one of her favorites of them because when I asked her this morning, I said, Maddie, I texted her, Maddie, can you send me some of your most recent favorite photos of you and Landon? And this is not recent, but she sent it to me as one of her favorites. This is them at prom. And I think we were just talking about it this weekend. I think the part of the reason it's one of her favorites is she loved the dress. This girl loves to get dressed up. And I think they went to many dances together in the couple of years that they've been together. And I think this was her favorite dress. So again, I can't put her here with this square cutoff. That's where the photo ended. So I would need to run her dress off the edge of the ornament, but that's fine because then it gives me all this space right here for doing like the date or the phrase that I want to put. I think I am going to do two for her. I think I'll do that one. And then I have this other tall, skinny one, more casual. They went to a Vikings game. And then I have this one that is shorter. So let me just take a peek. If you think you see one, should I use the two tall skinnies? Or should I use one of the horizontal ones? This one might look real good too. You have to have good photos to start to do this, right? Because you want to have good quality photos when you reprint it. Oh, the problem with this one, I can't use this one. You know why? Tell me if you notice when you look at this. What do you notice? So, Linda, a snowflake would be very pretty with the blue. That's true. She has this really beautiful, like, you're right, like people who like to decorate with blue in the winter or for Christmas, it is that snowflake blue that makes you think of like snowmen, and for sure. I'm going to try to keep them non-seasonal. His head is so his arm is cut off, their body is cut off here, her arm is cut off here, his head is also cut off. Now, if his head was completely rounded, if I hadn't cut that off, well, I didn't take this picture. Did I? I don't know who took this picture. But I can't have three edges cut off. That'll just look so funny on here. It would just look too funny. So that one's out. That made that one just an easy decision. I'm just cutting them close to the photo so I can handle the photo. I think based on my test that I did, I think all of the white paper is going to just disappear right into our white ornament background. So that's the thing. You want it to match. So that's the other one. I have this one. Try to decide. I actually have 4 ornaments, so I could make, I think this one is so cute. All right, we'll do these 2 to start, and maybe I'll make that. I thought maybe I'd make 1 or 2. I think I can make 3, and I think I'm going to make another one for Maddie. We'll just see how these turn out. Let's see. Okay, let's see. The hat, right, Sue? It's cut off. His head is like cut off at the top. If I could have put him all the way to the top and had the bottom and the sides all filled in, that would have been okay. But it just looks really funny to have it cut off right in the center. Let's see. You are portrait, and when turn, it's not full screen. Oh yeah, so just turn your phone the other way, and then it'll be full. It'll be full for you. Okay. Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm keeping up with comments. So the first step then is to Mod Podge. That's my little iron. A little iron saying, are you ready? Are you going to use me? It's just like a auto off feature, so I'll fix that. Mod Podge first. We're going to let it dry. We're going to iron on the photos and then put dates, maybe a phrase, and maybe some ribbon. I think I'm going to put some ribbon or something up top. I don't know. I can't decide. You can help me decide. First step, though, is we got to get a coat of Mod Podge on. It's clear. This is antique Mod Podge. I probably should not be using antique, but it'll be all right. It's not that dramatic. It just needs to be a nice thick coat so that when we heat it up with the iron, it's enough to activate the glue and reactivate the glue, like wake it up and grab onto that paper. Just like you decoupage with napkins. Now, I'm not going to be, the photo isn't going to be up here, but so that the whole ornament has the same sheen and look to it, you want to coat the whole thing. You don't want to just coat the part where you're going to put the picture, because then you might get a funny sheen, different sheen in one place than the other on the ornament, and that would look kind of funny. So nice and thick. I'll use my drying tool to dry these. You can see I got a lot on there, and I like to have a lot so that I can spread it. Once I get it on there and I have it spread nice and even, then if I need to brush them off, I totally can. I'm really focusing on my edges because you girls know me. Crafty chicks who usually hang out with me. Who's all here? There's 25 people here. 20. What does your screen say? My screen says there's 26 people. How many people does it say? How many eyeballs are watching on your end? I always think that's an interesting question because it may be, mine might show something different than you. 26 people. A lot of you are probably crafty chicks who hang out with me on the regular. Welcome back. And to those of you who are new, welcome for the first time. My name is Grace. I'm here at the Comfy Nest with Grace in North Dakota. I love to do paper crafting. I love to do decoupage. I think there's not enough hours in the day for all of the kinds of crafting interests that I have. I don't know. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Fall has got me really excited about doing some more wood crafts, which I've not done in a long time because I've been doing a lot of paper crafting and mixed media. I do a lot of mixed media. In fact, I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll show you while these are drying for a minute because we have plenty of time to do this project. Plenty. I'm not going to be rushing at all. I think I will just prep that last ornament because I think I'm going to give 3 of these to Maddie and we have enough time to do them all. All right. I'm making sure I get all my edges because the photos, some of these photos are going to go right off the edge. And you want to make sure that your paper isn't going to curl up on the edge. You want it really stuck down on that edge. Okay, that one's done. I'm going to do this last one. I'm going to show you a mixed media project that we did in the Craft Therapy Club. I was really, Christy asked what we were all doing for our projects. and I had a couple of things in mind, and this project that I'm going to show you was one of them. But when we did it inside the Craft Therapy Club, it took 2 sessions to video. I did it live videos. But for the people who are in the group, the 2 video recordings now are still available to you. You could always go back, redo the project, or if you're a newer member, if you've joined since we did it, you could go back to that month, to that guide in the group and watch the videos, use the supply list, follow along with the project and make your own. It's one of my favorite projects that we've done. And the reason it came up is because it's a mixed media photo memory project that is so precious to me. And it might be a good idea that some of you could take for Christmas gifts, because we know that's coming up real quick. All right, while these are drying, I'm going to probably end up forcing them dry a little bit, but let me jump up and show you this project. This is the other thing that I had in mind, but then when we did it in February of 2023. So I had to remind myself, like, okay, how long did it take to do this project? It was 2 sessions. So there's no way I could have done it in the hour that we were together. But let me grab it. It's right on my wall. It's right in front of me because it's so precious to me. I have one photo of my mother and me, and I embedded it into this project. This is a mixed media project on a canvas, as you can see. We did it February 2023. For those of you who are members in the group, you're looking for project number 47 in that month, February 2023, in the guide for February 2023. So it has a paper heart with metallic, and it has 3, I'm going to tell you what's on it, and then I'm going to put it really close so you can see it. It has 3 metal embellishments here that represent time. And the photo of my mother and me is really subtle, and it's here in the lower right. It looks very dreamy. It was a very old, it's actually sitting right in front of me over here. It's a really old Polaroid photo. So the photo quality wasn't good at all, but it's the only photo I have of my mother and me. She died when I was 17, and it's at my first confirmation. I remember this day. So we're holding hands. You'll see, we're holding hands. There's my mama, and there's me in my little confirmation dress and my little veil. And then I did the heart to represent my love for her, and the timepieces to represent time. I added metallic gold all over it because I really like the luster of the gold. And then here again, some random numbers to kind of represent the months that have gone by, the years that have gone by since this would have taken place. But I'm going to hold it close. There's a lot here. It's lots of layers of music paper and tissue paper and doilies. It's a chunky canvas, so we did the sides. You can never forget to do your sides as well. I just wanted to point that out. And they match exactly what's happening on the front. This is a mixed media photo memory. To me, it's a gift, a great gift idea. If there's something that happened in your life over the last year, like a wedding or a baby being born, or you got a new pet, I mean, the things that mean the most to you, maybe there's something you want to commemorate or memorialize or just remember. The heart, the time, the numbers, and then your photo. And we did the same exact thing. We printed the photo, or I, copied the photo and then printed it on like a tissue paper or tracing paper. And then it makes it thin enough so that you can just embed it into your project. It's so sweet. And, of course, because it's chunky, it sits up on its own. Right? So fun. So any treasured photo. I want to do this with a photo of my mom and dad at their wedding. I love their wedding photos. I don't have the album, but I have some of the proofs, so I could get parts of those and recreate them in something like Canva, and then be able to reprint them in a really nice way. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like that. Lori did it with her grandmother's picture. Oh, girls, those of you who are in the Craft Therapy Club, if you think of it, go find that project and snap a photo of it and share it in the group using one of our hashtags. Just use hashtag Project 47. That's the one. Or you could search hashtag Project 47 and see the examples that were shared when we did it. But for those of you, it just makes it easy to find them. if you repost. Yes, right? Chrissy said those chunky canvases are perfect because they can stand alone. You have the option to hang it or to stand it on its own, which is nice. All right, I have so many stamps in front of me. I have some bows in front of me. I've got some beads in front of me. Before we can do any of those like fun embellishments and designs on here, we have to dry these and iron on our photos. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you could print these on regular paper and do this same exact thing. Keep in mind, you would need to have a completely, probably like solid background, solid white or solid cream, something very light for your photos to show up well. White would be best if you're on white paper because you don't want the white paper to show around your surface color. The surface color and the white paper would need to match. It would really need to be white. If you printed on cream, then you would want to find a paint color that's cream, and that would be your background. Because my background has this distressing on it, I wanted basically a translucent paper. That's why I use the tracer paper. And because you can't even see it. When it's glued on, it's crazy to me how you can't even see the paper at all. My poor iron. She's saying, "Are you ready yet?" It's like the little timer telling me, "It's time to use me. Did you forget you left me on?" Hey, Cheryl Barry. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you made it. Thanks for being here. I don't usually go live at this time of day. I either go after dinner or I go, during the day when everybody's at school and work. As a stay-at-home mom, I try to be as available to my family during the dinner hour as I can be. Because I'm, wife and mom. I'm the one cooking most of the time, prepping the meal. Although I'll say my boys do help when they get home. Thanks, Maggie. How are you, friend? Betty, thanks for saying so, Betty Jones. Oh, thanks, Christy. She says it's fabulous. She loves it. My photo memory of my mom and me, I would have loved to have shown you guys. I'm trying to find a spot where I can put my foot. I would love to show you guys how to make that. It didn't take just an hour. It was 2 sessions of probably an hour to an hour and a half. But if you're a member of the Craft Therapy Club, you can get it. If you want to join the Craft Therapy Club, you'll get that, and all the projects we've ever done are all in there in a library. You would have access to them if that's something you'd want to have access to for as long as you're a member. Denise says, I remember doing that one. It was fun. Denise, can you believe it's already been that long? When I looked at it, I was like, it's really been that long since we did that? Time flies when you're having fun, girls. Hey, Lori Wallace. I see you. Oh, you show the same number of people? Sometimes it's different. I put this up on high, so it'll dry a little quicker. In retrospect, I could have done this beforehand, but we'll be okay. I have a little tabletop fan when I'm working on my own. Sometimes I just put stuff that needs to dry aside with the fan on my table and just let it blow it dry quietly, more quiet than this, while I do other things. As soon as this first one's dry, this one's almost done. I'll get started because I think in the time that it takes me to iron, these other ones will be drying. So I need parchment paper. You're gonna need some clean parchment paper. Let's start with Landon and Maddie. First, I'm gonna position them where I want them, and then I have to figure out how much space I need for my numbers. Her dress, she had a really long train on this dress. And I think I'm gonna get some of it off of here, and we'll sand that off because I want to have room on the left to put a phrase and or the date. So I think I'm going to go with this position right here. Oh, she loves this dress though so much. I don't want to lose much of it. All right, let's go with that. I kind of have it where I want it. You take your parchment paper, you're going to put it over. Make sure that there's no wrinkles or foldovers on your paper. And then we're going to come in with this iron and we're going to reactivate that Mod Podge so that the tissue or the tracing paper just melts right into the Mod Podge. And it'll like glue it down basically. Yep. Oh my gosh, it's so smooth and beautiful. So they are on there. You can't even tell that there's paper. So you saw that I have like about a 1/4 inch of that paper all the way around the photo. But when you look at the ornament, you can't see that paper there. Can't see it. It just melds right into that white background, which is what we want, right? I think I'm going to hit it one more time in this corner. It's on there, but I really want to make sure my edges are on there good. So I'm going to do this one more time, making sure to hit that edge. Sorry, Maddie, some of the dress had to go. Had to go. Okay. First one done. Pretty easy. They look customized. They look like you ordered them on Etsy from some fancy printer person who makes them. Someone who has a print shop and fancy printers. Okay, they're going to fit, on this one, they're going to fit all the way to the left. Now this, I'm kind of tempted to look up. I think if I cut this before I put it on there, I won't have to then sand it down if I get just a little closer to the photo. Then I can avoid sanding it. This Viking, when did they go to the Vikings game? It was last winter. So I'm actually thinking this was in 2023. Yeah, I think I might put 2023 on this one. I was going to make them each a gift and put 2024 on it because I'm giving them the ornament in 2024. But this one, I might have to put 2023 because that's when they went. You know what I'll do? I can write on the back. I want to cut just a little bit of that paper so I don't have to sand. It's just like the littlest, ittiest bit. I could sand it, but it was such a small amount. They are just going to fit on here. The ornaments are like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3.5 by 4.5, I think. They're 3.5 wide by 4.5 tall with that little nubby. I want to get them positioned just right on there. And then we're going to heat her up. Once you decide what you're doing, generally stuff goes by pretty fast. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You can decorate them however you want. You can keep them real, like I think both of these girls are really pretty simple. I don't think they're Maddie loves, I think she loves anything farmhousey, so black and white would be great for her. And I think she loves frilly, she's very girly in the fact that she likes frilly dresses. Now Gannon and Chastity, they would fit right in the middle, or I could put them to the right or the left. They're going to fit in any one of those spots. And I think I'm going to put them to the left. She's slightly shorter than Gannon. So by putting it to the left, I can get it further over. If I put it to the right, he's a little taller and he'll run off the ornament. If I put it to the left, I can get it further over. And then I have more room on the right for my date and phrase that I want to put on there for them. Look how fast and it's unbelievable how fast and easy these are. Wouldn't this be fun to make one of each of the grandkids or one of each of your kids? Or how about do you have a group of girlfriends like for book club or something? Yeah, this is the last one that I was going to use. And actually, this one's going to have to be, I'm going to have to sand. Because this one, they are going to be so low on here because it's so cut off right there. You know, if I can't, I'm not going to put them, they're going to be floating in the middle. So I have to kind of put them, I tried to lick my finger to get it to move, put them down low, but that's okay because then you have all this space to write or put a phrase or whatever you want. So let's just do it. It's been very smooth and easy. It goes by really fast. You don't need to do it for a long time. I'm applying a good amount of pressure and keeping it moving. You see, I'm not just holding it down. I don't want anything to burn. There they are. And then I'm going to sand off that bottom. Quick and easy. All right. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. How about your dog? Wouldn't it be cute to make these of your pets if you have more than one dog especially, and then you could give those ornaments to your kids? Oh, how cute would that be? All right, let me check the comments quick. I got them from Hobby Lobby. Yep, Hobby Lobby. These are them. You could take a snapshot. No, Maureen, my sister did not evacuate. She chose to stay. I'm so nervous for her. We did hear from her already. She said there were 5 tornadoes. 2 of them were very close to her. The winds obviously are high. The winds are up. So I'll be checking in with her as soon as I'm done here. Thanks for asking about her. Okay, so I have these blanks that are phrases, and there are a couple that I really do like. So now we're going to play with these. We do not remember days, we remember moments. The one I really like is the moment may be temporary, but the memory is forever. Memories are made to be made and not forgotten. I can't believe it. I got these clear stamps at a thrift store years ago, and I get so much use out of them. So many years and one yesterday. Simple moments make great memories. Okay, I like that one too. All right, now when you do this, let me shut this off because we don't need this anymore. When you do this, because I put Mod Podge down or top coat down on this, you're going to want to use a permanent ink, so an archival ink. I'm going to use archival black just because it's classic. It's, you know, it's going to go with everything. I don't have to, they're all going to match. Maddie's going to get 3 ornaments. They'll all have black ink on them, so they'll kind of be matching. So now I have to decide. These are, don't get them backwards, Grace. I'm going to grab one of these blocks because I just think it's easier, but I want to see which phrase is going to go where. Simple moments make great memories. This one, now you have it upside down, Gracie. That would have been really bad. This one is going to go on with Gannon and Chastity. Oh, I'm going to test it. I don't like going in on a project until I test the stamp and make sure that it's fully saturated. And yes, it was. So I'm just going to wet it again. Oh, so nothing worse than when you go in and you just didn't get it right. Right? Like it's just not complete. Simple moments make great memories. I don't even know. I may put 2024. I'm not sure on that one. I'm going to use this same phrase. It doesn't fit on that one. It fits great on this one. But what was the other phrase I was thinking of using? The moment may be temporary, but the memory is forever. Actually, that's the one I want to use there. So new stamp. I'm going to test it. I'm going to put it down before I go in. I always do. I've had too many times where you think that it's fully saturated and then it's not. And then you're like, darn, I missed a spot. Raise your hand. Has that ever happened to you? As many ink colors as I own, the various brands, I use black the most. Me too. I use black, gray, and brown. Those are the 3 colors. I don't have a ton. I don't have a ton of like the pinks, the greens. I have some basics, probably one of each color, but I don't have every, you know, dark green, light green, medium green, olive green. I don't have all that. All right, on this one, I think I'm going to go up high with this phrase. I better do it before I lose my opportunity. So I went up high, and actually this one is full enough. I don't even think I'll put the date on the front of this one. I think I'll write the date, the memory of it on the back. So now it's just putting a bow or something on it to keep it, you know. I have these numbers and I love them. So I was thinking about putting like a big 2-3, the year. So this one was taken in 2023. So, and I think I can fit it on here and it'd be really chunky and modern. And this is their football. So I'm placing them down where I want them on here, and then I'm going to pick them up with the block. I want it to look really modern and funky. Like that. 23. Is this right, Grace? Yeah. It's right. It feels funny because instead of reading left to right, they're kind of going to be stacked on top of each other. In fact, I'm going to try to find a way like that. I think I like it like that. Place them the way you want them. Put your silicone or your block on top of it so they're exactly where you want them. It's just so much easier with a block for that reason. Okay, this is going to look modern and chunky. This is the year that they went. It is 2024 now, and they went in November, so it was 2023 when they went. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking when you do that, right? Yes, I love it. So that was in 2023. I think they've been dating for 2 years. So some of these photos, this was in 2023 as well. I have a lot of space up here. If she hasn't answered yet, just got in. What did you iron on? What did you iron on pictures? What do you mean by that? Can you ask the question a different way? Carol, I'm not sure what you mean by what did you iron on. It's I printed them on tracer paper. I printed these photos on tracer paper, and now I'm printing them. There were a few layers in that process. So if you have a chance to go back and watch the replay, I explain it all in the at the beginning too. Okay, let's see. I might be able to fit all of 2023 on here. This one already has a phrase. This one has 2023 on there. I love this one. Super modern. Now, this one, I don't know if I want to do one of these syrupy fun. She's very sentimental, so she might like one of these. This one says, it's not... I can't read it, girls. Life is not measured by the number of breaths. That's this one. I better get my glasses out because I can't see it worth a lick. The lighting doesn't help, but girls, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So some of these are long and skinny. They're long and skinny, and that's not going to work for this. I need a more horizontal design for this one. So I need one that's not long and skinny. You never know when you're making memories. That one would really work well. This one is it's just a tish too big. A trip to nostalgia now and then is good for the spirit. No, I don't like that one. Sweet memories are a rare jewel which time polishes to perfection. That's sweet. You never know when you're making memories together. No, I like this one. Sweet memories are a rare jewel. Now, it has a little floral thing on it that I don't think will fit with this design. Oh, the first time you take these stamp, I haven't used this stamp yet. The first time you take them off, do you ever find it like they're really hard to get off of there? They're a real bugger. Sometimes I'm like, dang, I'm going to rip that thing. I've never ripped one, not once, of these clear stamps. But you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to rip it off. It takes so much effort to get it off. I'm going to scratchy scratch because I've never used it. So sanding block will help it get more grit. It has these two little flower embellishments, and I don't want those. So I'm just going to take a little piece of removable tape. This is from scrapbook.com. I love that it's teal because it's one of my favorite colors. I'm just going to cover those with a little piece of tape because I do not want, although I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover them just for the point of getting, stamping the rest of it with the black. And this isn't sticking real well. It's repositionable tape. It's not sticking on the acrylic block, the acrylic stamp. So I'm going to come in, instead of picking this up and turning it over onto the ink pad, I'm going to take the ink pad down because I don't want the flowers. So see what I did? My little tape covered the flowers. Now I can take these off, throw them in the garbage, and then I just get my phrase. I'm putting it right above their heads. Like that. Okay, they're all stamped with something. I will still write on the back. You don't have to watch me write on the back of these to give them a little memory of, probably ask the boys. Although maybe I'll give one of these to Landon. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. These are going to be Christmas gifts though. Okay, but now I have some really simple bows. I've got 10 minutes, so we can figure this out in the 10 minutes. You're welcome, Carol. I'm happy to answer questions. So go ahead and ask any other questions you guys have. Yeah, they're just regular printed pictures off of my, I have an inkjet printer. It's an HP inkjet printer. And to make sure that the ink didn't bleed, I printed them on tracer paper, but to make sure that the ink didn't bleed, I put 3 very wet coats of spray matte Mod Podge on these and let them dry before I put them down on the project. Okay, I have black and white. I've got red and black. I have burlap. I'm going to show you all these. What is this little one doing in here? I don't know. I think I must have made this and not used it. It doesn't match with any of these, but I've bought a set of little tiny ones, you know, from Amazon. You can make your own, but I bought these off Amazon a long time ago. I have black and white. That I think makes me think of Maddie so much. I have the burlap. I don't think any of these go with Maddie's dress. And I have the red and black. Now, the red and black will go really good. They both wear all black to the dance. So, no, it's too much. It's too much. Black and white, except it's going to go right over his head. Look. So I'm going to have to cut those tails down. If I put this little bow on there, it's so cute. But I'm going to need to cut those tails down a little bit. I think that'll be okay for that one. Maddie's dress, I don't see black and white with this. He has a gray suit on, and she has this really beautiful light blue frilly dress. The black and white definitely won't go. The burlap, though, with the jute hanger, you tell me, is this one okay? What do you think of this? So we have the jute hanger. That's really soft and pretty. The other option would be, I have some light blue raffia, but it might be too much blue. All right, I'm going to hold off on that one. That was a little specialty. That's a little special. And then on these other two, I think I actually could keep using. I think I'll use the black and white on that one because the first black and white was for Gannon. This one's for Landon. This one, I might just do black, but let me go grab some black and blue ribbon and raffia and see what we got. I also have, besides that, I have blue and white and red and white. So I have blue raffia. It kind of matches her dress. I have this and this, baker's twine. The red and white baker's twine might be, she kind of has on, it's really hard to see, but she has a really dark purple on because she's wearing a they went to a Vikings game and they both wore Vikings. Anybody a Vikings fan? They went to a Vikings game. So no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do red on this one. I might just have to do straight black, like I said, on that one. This one though, let me test out this raffia. See what I can work out with the raffia. I might wrap and glue. So this event is still going on tonight. It is called Time Capsule Throwdown. Memory Keepers. Everybody's doing something with keepsaking memories in one way or another. You can see all of the creatives who are participating in today's event. There are a couple more after me. I'll tell you who's coming up after me in just a minute, but where you're going to want to go to catch everybody and the replays is in 2 of the free groups or communities here on Facebook. One of them is coordinated and owned by our hostess, Christy, from My Artful Adventures. So her group is My Artful Adventures Clubhouse. The other one is the Crafty Bunch. You could go into either one of those groups and find all of today's projects and lies. Now I'm wrapping the top of this with that blue just to see if I added that little kind of rope detail and then made a bow out of the raffia. This might be the way to go for this one. So I'm not even sure. I'm just kind of playing with it right now to see. I don't like the way it wrapped. I'm going to do it again. It doesn't take very long, but it had a gnarly wrap to it. Try to tell you about the program and wrap at the same time. Didn't give me quite the results I was looking for. Okay. I don't need to cover this little bit right there. There we go. No. It's a good thing we can adjust. We can adjust. All right, I'm just going to temporarily tie this to the back just so I get an idea of, is this what I want? I don't know if this is what I want. I'm super visual, girls. I can't decide until I see it. It's just the way I am. This is not going to let me tie. Hang tight. We're reworking it. I needed a longer bit of it. I'm going to tie it. I will glue it if I decide that this is what I want, and I'll cut down those tails, but I'm thinking to add that blue detail on the top and then maybe a finger ribbon here. Hey, Diana, how are you? You think it adds good dimension? It definitely adds something more, right? It adds something more. It makes it a little more colorful. I was thinking maybe the burlap, the blue with the burlap on top of it, and I might just do a little stringy one of these as well. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm not sure. Trying to decide as I go. Oh, you guys, in a few minutes, I love little raffia bows. I just think they're so special. I think they're so sweet, primitive, and simple, and it's all that's good in the world, the simple things. Okay, little raffia bow. Now I have the raffia wrap around the top of the ornament, and I don't know that I want to have, in addition, a raffia bow, but I thought I'd make it. It's never going to go to waste, so I'll just put it in the bin with the rest of my little bows if I don't use it. I just wanted to have the 2 options to consider. Oh, I like the raffia more. Raffia on the top with a scrappy raffia bow. What do you think? All that blue, is it too much? Should I go with the burlap bow? I like the raffia. You tell me in the comments. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. Even if you're asking on the replay, I will go back and check my check all your questions and comments. It will tag me for a while. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but it'll tag, like the owner of the page, it'll tag us and let us know that somebody made a comment. And for about a week, I'll be checking to see, as people are commenting, if you're new and you're saying hello, if you're saying replay, I'll at least go and like it, or I'll say thanks for being here or welcome. I'll say something. I do try to go in and comment, so I'll be watching for your questions if you have them. Like I said earlier, this was a little bit of a little deep in the number of steps. So there were a few steps to getting this done, but if you get the steps in the right order, I think you'll be really happy with the results. I'm going to glue these let me glue these on. I'm looking for this glue. Let's glue these on, and I'll show you. I'll glue these first couple of them on. Now, these bows are kind of loose, so I'm actually going to put glue in the knot of the bow inside the bow and outside the bow to hold the bow together so it doesn't over the years fall apart on Miss Maddie. So I'll get that one on there. So simple, like so simple. Once you have a plan in place for what photos you want to use, you have the ornaments that you're going to put them on. I probably will. You could do another top coat on these. I'm going to budge that bow up a little so it's not so much in Gannon's face. And I'm going to have to crop down the tails on this one. Oh, bad scissors, Gracie, bad scissors. Come the Tim Holtz. The big mama, the big mamas. The Tim Holtz ones are the, you can't mess it up with Tim Holtz scissors. They're always good. Okay. It needs a minute to dry, but we got this one. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. Got this one. So these are my two boys. If you didn't know, if you're just coming in and you're like, oh, who are these people? Now, those are my two sons, and these are their girlfriends. This one, I don't know. I might just leave it plain because they are really close to the top there. And then this one, I think, did you guys tell me in the comments? Lori, I like the raffia too. I like the raffia, and I might be able to find a little bit of bling, like a little like rhinestone. I think I'll put a little rhinestone in there, and I'll take pictures of these and share them here on the page and in the group probably tomorrow. But I will do that so you can see how they finally finished up. You got to see two of them finished. This one I think is finished. I don't think I'm going to do anything else, but this one with a raffia bow I'll add a little bling to as well. And I'll take photos and share. Go on over and you are watching. Next up is LaBelle Junk at Home. But I'm telling you, go into My Artful Adventures or go into my Artful Adventures Clubhouse or the Crafty Bunch to just catch everybody there real quick. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks for being here.